Announcing the arrival of Prof. by Bulgaria, Prof. is a massage Vice Chancellor of Sigma. Chairman, Board of Directors, University Bahasa Malaysia. Yang berbahagia Prof. Dato' Dr. Hassan Masri, Chancellor Academic and International Affairs, University Bahasa Malaysia. Prof. Weiming, History and Philosophy, Harvard University. Sir Desmond Liu, Advisor, Lam King Charity Fund. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, and thank you for gracing this afternoon occasion. Professor Tu Weiming and Mr. Desmond, selamat datang and welcome to University Bahasa Malaysia. It is indeed our pleasure to welcome all of you to our beautiful campus in conjunction with the Harvard EZRA VOGEL Malaysia in Singapore Initiative Public Lecture Series. To begin this afternoon program, I would like to invite our guests to sit back and view a short video on activities and achievement of University Bahasa Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned earlier, Prof. Weiming is in Malaysia as part of Harvard EZRA VOGEL Malaysia Singapore Initiative Public Lecture Series. This program involved the participation of professors from Harvard University and is co-organized by UKM, Harvard University Asia Center, and Lam King Morning Sun Charity Fund. Without further ado, I would like to invite Yang Berbahagia Prof. Tan Sri Dr. Sharifah Hafsah Syed Hassan Shahabuddin to welcome Prof. to Weiming and introduce him to the audience this afternoon. Yang Berbahagia, Tan Sri.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good afternoon. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Paduka Dr. Mazlan Ahmad, Chairman UKM Board of Directors, Professor Dr. Hassan Basri, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic and International Affairs, our speaker for this afternoon, Professor Tu Weiming, who is also Professor of Chinese History and Philosophy at Harvard University, Mr. Desmond Liu, Advisor of the Lam Kin Chong Morning Sun Charity Fund, and also representing Dr. Lam. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome all of you to UKM. Is the mic on? And to the second Harvard EZRA VOGEL Malaysia Singapore Initiative Public Lecture Series. We are, UKM as a university is very proud to be selected as the Malaysian university to participate in this public lecture series. As you know, it is named after Professor EZRA VOGEL, who served as the director of Harvard University Asia Center for 2 years, from 1997 to 1999. The Singapore partner is Nanyang Technological University, and you will go there tomorrow, I think, Professor. The aim of this lecture series is to strengthen the links between Harvard University and universities across Southeast Asia and South Asia, starting with Singapore and Malaysia, particularly in international relations and comparative studies of Asian countries and regions. And we are grateful to Dr. Lam Kin Chung, who unfortunately cannot be here this afternoon, of the Lam Kin Chung Morning Sun Charity Fund, which is based in Hong Kong, for sponsoring the series of lectures. And under this sponsorship, UKM will host the lecture series twice a year over 5 years. And from our experience last October, when we hosted Professor Sugata Bose for the inaugural lecture, we found that students and faculty alike not only found his lecture on the idea of Asia in modern history most illuminating and challenging, but they were also thrilled to meet and interact with an internationally acclaimed academic. So today, we are very honored to have another distinguished professor from Harvard, Professor Tu Weiming, whose topic, Toward a Dialogical Civilization, is equally interesting, if not challenging. In fact, we started talking at lunchtime today. Professor Tu was asking what are the sensitive issues that we need to dialogue here. So we had a good discussion and how we approach this. So perhaps later at the discussion we can further this with all the participants here. But we'll listen to you first. And of course your lecture is very important for us this year because on the 18th of May, UKM will celebrate its 40th anniversary. And this lecture is part of that celebration. And I believe the topic dialogue is also important. It's important for innovation, which is the theme of our celebration. Professor Tu Weiming is a Harvard Yenching Professor of Chinese History and Philosophy and of Confucian Studies. We have given you a short resume in the brochure right in front of you. I will not repeat a lot of what has been written, but suffice to say that he is very eminent, and I think he's very experienced in the many years that he's been with Harvard. And if it is not written in there, I would like to say he was actually born in Kunming, and Kunming, we feel quite close because we fly to Kunming. So whenever we fly to a city in any place in the world, we feel very close to the people there. He's very active in many public universities, public bodies, and served as chairman of the Committee on the Study of Religion and chair of the Department of East Asian Languages and Civilization at Harvard. And before that, he was also at the East-West Center in Honolulu. And Professor Tu has been the Chen Mu lecturer and the Walun lecturer both at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and he was also appointed by the Secretary General of the United Nations to serve on the group of eminent persons, the Dialogue Among Civilizations. So that shows how experienced and how recognized he is in this area that he's going to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the great pleasure and privilege to invite Professor Tu Weiming to deliver his lecture toward a dialogical civilization.
Thank you very much. I'm Sri Professor Sharifa. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to have this rare opportunity to deliver this public talk in honor of my friend, EZRA VOGEL. I'm particularly delighted to address the question of a dialogical civilization. In fact, this idea of the dialogical civilization came into being when I was involved in a series of discussions and dialogue with the Japanese religious leader Ikeda Daisetsu. And after the discussions, we proposed a topic. The topic at the time was civilization, clash, or dialogue. And since I've been deeply involved in this whole debate with my colleague Sam Huntington concerning the clash of civilizations. In fact, he later agreed with me that precisely because there was the danger of the clash of civilizations, dialogue becomes even more important. But in any case, the question of the clash of civilizations continued to linger on in the academic circles, even though the wishful thinking about dialogue continued to manifest itself. And Mr. Ikeda's group wanted to talk about the choice between clash and dialogue. And I propose a way of looking into the future. If we imagine the possibility of a culture of peace, then the civilization itself has to be dialogical. It is not simply how we develop all kinds of mechanisms of dialogue among civilizations, but also our vision of the emergence of a dialogical civilization. So I propose this topic for the series of publications. Dialogical civilization first appeared in Japanese, then there are 3 versions in Chinese, one in China, one in Hong Kong, one in Taiwan, 2 with the simplified characters, 1 with non-simplified characters. But anyway, now the English version is ready for publication soon. I have to explain a little bit about the idea, but I think I'm still in the process of trying to develop it. So what I'm going to offer will be quite tentative.